Welcome to episode 111, so 111. This episode is going to be about creating mass opportunity. So this is a chance for us to throw a party. I'll explain in a moment. Just so you know, the show notes are alanmckay.com/111. This should be pretty easy to remember. And inside of there, you'll be able to get the guide for this month, Making the Best Year Yet. This is an ebook specifically written for this month with all the information from this month, all the things that we're doing. So you can download it there, as well as links to everything else. I've got a free crash course that is a new set of training that I'm doing, live action, all character driven. That's out at the moment too. It'll be in the show notes as well. I'll leave it there. Let's dive in.
Welcome to the Alan McKay Podcast. Alan is an Emmy Award-winning visual effects artist and mentor to many leading industry experts. Listen in as Alan talks with other industry leaders in film, video games, and visual effects about their experience, lessons, and methodology. Alan will teach you pivotal advice to fast-track your career, better your skills, and reach your ultimate dream job. Check out the latest episodes on alanmckay.com.
So I'm going to fire this one out really quick, but I think this is a fun yet simple one that I think that you all should be doing, and I'll definitely be doing myself, and that is throwing a party. Now, given the fact that it is the end of the year, Christmas is right around the corner, you already have an excuse, and people are looking to go out with a bang and get to celebrate and just find whatever reason they need to go out and network, hang out with people, and just celebrate the year being done. So here's your opportunity to be the instigator for it, and that is throwing a end-of-year Christmas party. Now, some of you instantly are going to be kind of reactive to this, like, oh no, that's not me, I'm shy, or I'm an introvert, or this just isn't my thing. But all it needs to be is as simple as saying, hey everyone, I'm going to be at this bar next Friday, bring everyone along, let's all hang out and just celebrate the end of the year. That could be as simple as it needs to be. It doesn't need to be some complicated thing with, a lot of pre-event management and setting up or anything else. It could be as simple as that. I used to host parties all the time and get 30, 50, 150 people to show up at a place when all I'm saying is, hey everyone, I'm going to be at this bar, we're all going to get drunk. It's Saturday, it's summer, whatever, let's all go out. Like, it doesn't need to be a big thing. But when you have Christmas as the precursor, it makes it all that much more simple. So the point of this is that you're positioning yourself at the center of it all. Instantly, you become authoritative because you're the one who made it all happen. You're the one who organized it all, even if it was as simple as saying, everyone, beer at this place, come along. But that puts you in a greater position, especially when you are inviting a lot of studios, studio owners, managers. Everyone is going to be seeing you as the person who organized it all and came through with it. Okay, so there is that kind of authoritative shift that happens in that case. I mean, if you look at, it's just an interesting observation, like bartenders, bouncers, I know these are all bar related, but these are people who have a job that doesn't require not that much schooling really, but more importantly, it's not necessarily a high-paying job. However, when you're inside of a bar and the bartender is Mr. Popular, everyone's hitting on him or her because they're the one behind the bar who is the center of attention, who gets to handpick who gets alcohol, who doesn't. In those positions, you'll notice there is a bit of a power shift where everyone wants to be let's just assume in this case of an example, the bartender's male, everyone wants to be his friend. Everyone is trying to, get their attention, maybe buy him a drink. Whatever it might be, there's a bit of a shift when you're in their world. And it's the same thing too when you're hosting a party and you position yourself as the one who made it happen, okay? And when it comes to networking, when it comes to everything else, this is your chance to pull yourself out of your comfort zone a little bit and get to work the room and get to know everyone, and perhaps people that typically you wouldn't have the opportunity to meet. And the best part is that you've got every reason to do that because you're the person, like, they're at your party. You're the one who made it happen. You are indirectly the center of attention. Now, one example of this I've talked about before, but back in Australia years ago, and I always think of this because it was just a really great example where this girl, Lauren, who had just graduated from some school back in Australia, and she decided to host this event. And I was back in Australia at the time, just visiting, and I went along to this thing, and it was just at a nightclub where, I don't know, maybe like 30, 40 people came. It turned out really good. And she just went around and quickly said hi to everyone. She was a animation student, just graduated, and basically just went around saying like, hello, how are you? Thanks for coming along. That was it. And I met her for a split second. I don't really remember talking to her much, but all I do remember is that she was the one who organized it all, who made it happen. And I do remember coming to a meeting years later. It must be like 4 or 5 years later. And I went into the meeting with a client about this big job, and she was there as the production coordinator at the time. And she's like, Alan, I'm not sure if you remember me or not. I hosted this party a few years ago, blah, blah, blah. And I barely remembered it had been so long, but I ended up chatting with her for a little bit afterwards, and I was like, oh, how's it all going, and what happened, how do you end up here or whatever? She's like, well, actually, that night that I threw that party, I went around and just met everyone, and then I stayed in touch, and I just emailed this company like, a couple of days later just saying, nice to meet you, and a few months after that, they called me back and said, hey, we've got this new position opening up. If you're interested, you can, come in and take a job here. It's at the bottom, but it's a chance to work your way up. And she had been working her way up. So I thought this is kind of interesting that like literally the one time I met her a couple of years before that, she had then used that momentum of, first of all, taking the initiative, doing something that's a little bit spontaneous, but no one else was doing. And she created opportunities for herself through that. And it didn't take that much work. She literally said, hey, everyone, you're going to have an industry bash, come along, have some drinks. Okay. Now, the cool thing is that you can obviously go a lot further than just saying, I'm going to have beers at this bar or whatever. Like I said, the whole Christmas angle alone is a great indicator. A lot of people are going to come just because it's like, hell yeah, I want to go out and, celebrate the year being over. A lot of people are already at Christmas parties throughout the December. So because of that, they're going to bounce around a lot too. So you'll get a lot more people than you would probably expect, just because people are already out and about, and maybe they're just looking to warm up at yours before they go to another, however it's going to work. And I love that because you're going to get people coming in and out the entire time. But on top of that, all you got to do is go set up a Facebook group, invite a bunch of people, say, hey, I'm going to do this thing, come along at this time, let's end the year with a bang. By the way, please share this around with everyone else at your studio. Feel free to invite anyone you want from the industry. It'd be great to have more people. The more the merrier, ho, 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 whatever, And the cool thing is that because of that, you are going to get a lot of people coming, sharing it around. It's a good excuse. And suddenly you've got, just on Facebook alone, you would have a good number of people showing up. But the cool thing is from there, you can actually call up a bar and say, hey, I'm going to have set amount of people, 20, 30 people going to drink at your bar on whatever date. And what would be really great is if we could get some reserved tables, something like that. Anything you can do to accommodate us would be really great. And a lot of places, if you can guarantee at least 30 people are showing up, they're more than happy to dedicate a space to either a private room or at least reserve a couple of tables, things like that. So that is something then you can go back to the Facebook page and say, hey, we have our own dedicated area at this bar so we can roll out VIP style and enjoy the night. The cool thing is I've done this a lot where I've gone to Autodesk and other places then and said, hey, I'm hosting a drink thing. And if there's anything you can do to help out or contribute, let me know. It'd be really great if you guys can come along too. But either way, we should have like a good amount of people coming from all parts of the industry. And I've had like a $2,000 bar tab or a $500 bar tab, depending on where I'm at. But like people are willing to throw down money. At the same time, like there was one place I went to, like NVIDIA or ATI. One of them ended up dropping a couple of grand just to say that, hey, we funded the party or whatever. And obviously you can go a lot, be a lot more ambitious than that. But either way, like you have that option there. And that, again, going with that back and forth, you can refuel the party saying we have a $500 bar tab. I don't know why people get so excited about there being a bar tab. The amount of parties I've been to where there's like a $500 or $1,000 bar tab, I've wanted to go find another bar until that bar tab runs out, because it just makes everyone just try and, get unlimited drinks all night long. If there was unlimited drinks the entire time, that's one thing, but when it's just for a certain amount of time, you end up getting like 5 to 10 layers of people, and it gets really annoying really fast. That's when you want to know the bartender, because you can hail them and go to the side and get drinks really easily. But that's exactly it. So, whether you just say, hey, I'm showing up at this place, or whether you want to do that refueling sequence where you do invite everyone, then you get a set head count, then you can go to the bar and say, hey, I'm going to do this. I've even seen some bars say that we'll guarantee a small bar tab. This is rare. Again, like I mentioned LA before, I'll loop back to that, but with certain places that don't get a lot of human traffic, they sometimes will do that or give you a discount on drinks for your party, whatever they can do to encourage you to bring more people in. Because in the long run, it's going to be worth it for them, because you're going to stick around after that set time and continue drinking. So they know that. I mentioned LA not being the best place because it just depends on where you go, but there's enough people in LA that there are, like at least in Santa Monica, I used to host the industry drinks in LA, and a lot of places would, a lot of the higher end places in Santa Monica wouldn't really give you any incentives. Whereas if you were to go to the Valley, somewhere like that, where it's a bit quieter, you will get a lot more incentives. But it's definitely other cities. Like I've done this numerous times. Even Vancouver, I had a lot of experience like doing that sort of thing, and it always worked out really well. So I think it's just more of an LA thing, possibly a New York thing as well, I'm guessing. But there's so many bars in New York that I'm sure they're looking for any reason to bring people in. So that's just it. Like I wanted to keep this super simple, but just think about that for a minute. The fact that you get to be the host, you get to bring all those people in, you get to work the room. And if you're not comfortable working the room, then this is your chance to get out of your comfort zone and do that. Because the cool thing is that everyone will know who you are. So you can walk around and say, hey, you guys enjoying yourself? I just want to introduce myself really quick. I'm Alan. I organize this thing, and I'm just quickly walking around saying hi to everyone. How are you doing tonight? And start a conversation. Get people's business cards. Go target owners. Even call up studios and say, hey, this is Alan. I'm hosting an event, industry drink event. I just wanted to invite you guys out. Obviously, this might be more for your employees, but if you want to come along too, feel free. It'd be really great to have you there. By the way, I love the work that you guys do. Anyway, hope you're having a great time, and Merry Christmas. See you later. That's all it needs to be. You can fire it out by email. You've got so many different ways, Twitter, whatever you want to do. Point is that word of mouth spreads really quick. You'd be surprised how many people show up. So it's super simple to do, and it literally can be as simple as just saying, I'm going to be here at this time. But you can use that sequence of being able to refuel, like I said, going and getting the Facebook group, getting the numbers locked in, going and getting the dedicated space, going and trying to get people to sponsor the event. Keep going back into the Facebook group and telling people, hey, we just got this. Hey, we just got this. By the way, now we're going to give away some stuff. This. We're going to pregame here, whatever it might be. The more it grows and escalates, the more people are going to get involved with it. And because of that, the more the word's going to spread. And the cool thing is that this might become a thing where it is the party of the year. And, it might end up becoming a monthly thing where you end up hosting a drink thing every, last Friday of the month or whatever it might be. Either way, you're taking the initiative and you're creating this event, and this is a chance for you to be the center of attention and get to network and get that face time. And you can do exactly what Lauren did, which was to create opportunities which could lead to possible job opportunities down the line, as well as create a massive chance for you to network and build those contacts, and especially in a different context to you going in and applying for a job and saying, hello, how are you? I'm the candidate applying for a position. Instead, you get to meet people on even ground and be able to present yourself in a different shade of light that you would under those other conditions. So hopefully you find that beneficial, and I hope that I get invited to your Christmas party. I'll leave it there. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I will be back with another episode, which is going to be on really finding the growing trends, finding the skills to really focus on that are in high demand, low supply, and how to do that. A lot of great stuff in the next episode. If you want to check out the show notes, as well as get the guide for making the best year yet, as well as the free training that's available for the next week, you can do all of that by going to alanmckay.com/111. I'll leave it there. Rock on.